This video is an overview of the hormones in the endocrine system. We will go through the hormone, where it is made, its targets tissues, and what it does. Growth hormone is made in the anterior pituitary gland, or APG. It does not have a specific target site, but rather targets cells throughout the body. It stimulates cells to grow in size and number, or reproduce. Prolactin is also found in the APG and stimulates the mammary glands to produce milk. Additionally, it increases sensitivity to LH in males. We will talk about LH momentarily. Thyroid stimulating hormone is found in the APG and stimulates the thyroid to release thyroid hormone. Recall that the thyroid stimulating hormone is a tropic hormone. In other words, it functions to stimulate another gland to release their products. Adrenocorticotropic hormone is another hormone of the APG and another example of a tropic hormone. It targets the adrenal gland to produce and release one of its hormones, cortisol. We'll talk about cortisol momentarily. Follicle stimulating hormone is produced in the APG and targets the sex organs for sperm and egg production. Luteinizing hormone, or LH, is the last of the APG hormones. It also targets the sex organs, but stimulates ovulation and testosterone. Oxytocin is produced in the posterior pituitary gland and targets the uterus and mammary glands. If you recall back to our discussion on positive feedback loops, this was one of the examples. Oxytocin stimulates the uterine muscle to contract for childbirth. As the baby pushes on the cervix, this sends signals up to the PPG to release more oxytocin. More oxytocin causes further contraction. The cycle continues until the child is born. Oxytocin also targets the mammary glands to release milk from the glands into the nipples. Additionally, it facilitates an emotional bond between mother and child. In males, it aids in the propulsion of semen. Antidiuretic hormone is also made in the PPG and targets the collecting duct of the nephron to increase water reabsorption. This inadvertently influences blood pressure by increasing the amount of water put back into the blood. Thyroid hormone, collectively T3 and T4, is made in the thyroid and has widespread effects on the body. Primarily, they have a calorogenic effect on the body, meaning they increase body metabolism. They are responsible for influencing body temperature and weight. Calcitonin is also made in the thyroid, but by the parafollicular cells and not the follicles that make thyroid hormone. It decreases levels of blood calcium by stimulating osteoblast activity for bone formation and restricts osteoclast activity so less calcium is removed from the bone matrix and placed into the blood. This hormone is primarily active in children and not commonly found in adults. Parathyroid hormone is made in the parathyroid and is the antagonist to calcitonin. It increases levels of calcium in the blood via stimulation of osteoclasts to release calcium from bone tissue, and inhibits osteoblasts from synthesizing collagen, which inhibits how much bone matrix is formed by the osteoblasts. Additionally, it can target the kidneys to reabsorb calcium so less is lost in urine and promotes the synthesis of calcitriol, a form of vitamin D. Mineral corticoids, especially aldosterone, are produced in the adrenal cortex. Aldosterone controls the levels of sodium in the body by targeting the nephrons to actively transport it faster, increasing reabsorption. The movement of sodium also influences water volume and blood pressure. Insulin is also released from the pancreas. It targets most tissues to take glucose out of the blood when blood sugar levels are high. Progesterone, an estradiol, or estrogen, is released from the ovaries. It targets many tissues, primarily those associated with the female reproductive system. It is essential for the development of the follicle and egg and maintenance of the embryo. Testosterone is released from the testes and target multiple tissues, especially those associated with sperm production, development, and maturation.